Gather round the fire, you twisted crime addicts, because I've got a doozy for you. This one is so messed up and bone-chilling, it'll have you side-eyeing every innocent-looking person you pass on the street from now on. We're going back to the early morning hours of May 27th, 2023 in South Korea. A cab driver gets a pickup for this park near the river around 3 a.m. No biggie. He's used to drunks and rowdy partygoers at these kinds of hours. Except when he pulls up to the pickup spot, his passenger is a young girl, like what looks to be a middle schooler at best. Bright, cheery smile, cute bobbed haircut. She even got a big suitcase that looks genuinely heavy, like she's about to hop a flight for summer vacation or something. He jumps out and offers to help wrestle her bulky luggage into the trunk, but she declines, insisting she will handle it solo. Red flag? He drops her off at the park like she asked, and figures he'll just hang back for a quick smoke break. Little did this poor, unsuspecting driver know he had just been an accessory to one of the sickest, most twisted murders his city would ever see. See, about 15 to 20 minutes later, the same young girl strolls back out of the park, except now that gigantic suitcase looks practically empty behind her. And this is where the cabbie street smarts started kicking in. Why the hell would luggage get drastically lighter between the drop-off and pickup? What has she dumped in the park? The cab driver quickly puts two and two together and realizes, holy crap, there was a body in that suitcase earlier. No doubt in his mind at this point. Without hesitation and without even asking the girl for payment, this guy books it and calls the cops. And sure enough, when the police descend on the park, they find dismembered human remains scattered about the park like confetti. It turns out our innocent young girl was anything but. Her name was Jung Yoo-jung, a severely disturbed 23-year-old who had developed an obsession with true crime documentaries, to the point where she decided she simply had to experience taking a human life for herself, just to see what it felt like. That's what pushed her over the edge from true crime junkie to full-blown baby-faced killer. Yoo-jung's victim was a 20-something English tutor named Hannah. Using the ultimate con, Yoo-jung had lured Hannah by posing as a middle schooler looking for a language tutor, even going so far as to buy and wear an actual school uniform for the ruse. As soon as Hannah arrived at what she thought was an innocent after-school lesson, Yoo-jung pounced, stabbing, slashing, and butchering Hannah in cold blood. She then spent the remaining overnight hours dismembering the body and stuffing the remains into her suitcase. Of course, Yoo-jung didn't just immediately confess to being a killer once the cab driver caught her red-handed. She tried claiming that she didn't actually commit the murder at all, just that she'd been hired to dispose of Hannah's body on someone else's behalf. But with the full weight of the evidence against her, including this poor shaken cab driver's eyewitness testimony, Yoo-jung's lies fell apart. It wasn't until her devastated grandfather was brought in and pleaded with her to come clean that she finally confessed to murdering Hannah in cold blood just to satisfy her own morbid curiosity. And if this wasn't grim and twisted enough already, here's maybe the most chilling revelation of all. In her psychiatric evaluation, Yoo-jung scored just one single point away from the threshold that indicates a full-blown psychopath. A score only 1 point below infamous sickos like Ted Bundy and John Wayne Gacy. One measly point separating this baby-faced murderer from being in the same company as some of the most iconic serial killers in modern history. The psychologists evaluating her outright stated that if she hadn't been caught red-handed on this first kill, there was a 100% chance Yoo-jung would strike again. That this was just the beginning of what could have been a horrific, bloody streak of bodies across South Korea at the hands of what they described as a budding serial killer. Still, even being locked away didn't seem to faze Yoo-jung's twisted psyche much. Reports quickly emerged that she was holding up perfectly fine in jail, eating heartily, sleeping like a baby, showing no remorse or emotion whatsoever. Meanwhile, the shaken cab driver whose gut instinct was crucial in cracking the case, he rightfully decided he'd seen enough and quit his job on the spot. And the tutoring company that had unwittingly aided in connecting Yoo-jung to her victim, They got bombarded by scared tutors deleting their profiles in droves out of fear of suffering a similar fate. At the end of the day, we're left with a tragic, senseless murder and the terrifying reality that there could be more Yoo-jungs out there right now. Pretty, unassuming young women harboring the sickest, most depraved minds imaginable, who outwardly blend in perfectly as they watch the latest true crime documentary on Netflix, all while plotting their next grisly move.